Hey guys, welcome to the review and results show for the March 29, 2023 edition of AEW Dynamite. My name's Dan, and I review each and every AEW/ROH show, everything except for shows like All Access, just the in-ring stuff. So that's everything from Dark Elevation to all other pay-per-views. So if you missed it and you want a quick recap, or you want a place to talk all things AEW and ROH, you can do so right here. So please go right below this video, click that like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell, because I always let you see past, especially in future reviews that I do, but also helps others to find my channel. And without any further ado, let's get to the review. Dynamite kicks off with Matt Hardy going one-on-one with Jungle Boy, Jack paired with Darby Allin, watching backstage. And these two would have had a great back and forth if not for Ethan Page, as he would get involved very much throughout this match, even though Matt did say that he didn't want nor need his help, which would cause Ethan Page to get a little more creative with how he helped Matt, would have to help him without Matt Hardy looking. Of course, that would be too much for Hook to handle, as he would come out and they would trade shots with each other. Matt Hardy would try to break them apart, but unfortunately for him, would eat a punch from Ethan Page for his troubles. Very much inadvertent there, and those two would cancel each other out. And of course, Jungle Boy would take advantage of that and is able to get the win over Matt Hardy. After this match, though, MJF would come out and say that he didn't appreciate him interrupting his rebar mitzvah and how it was such a Kanye move, which got a very audible gasp from the crowd. Certainly can understand why. MJF then said there was one thing that stuck with him that Jungle Boy said during the rebar mitzvah, is that he had it easy, and he also puts him over by mentioning how hard Jack has worked. Jack would do the same later on by also putting over MJF with how good of a talker he is, how confident he is, but then would proceed to run down all the bad things that MJF is known for. MJF would then bring up Anna Jay, and that's where things would get very, very physical there, and Jack would get the better of him. What a great way to begin this show. I am very excited to see. Maybe, just maybe, these two are going to be the pay-per-view match after all. We then go backstage where Alex Marvez was requested by Don Callis because he wanted to clear things up, clear up the confusion. He says that he just slipped when he interacted with Hangman, and that he also brings up why Kenny would believe him that Hangman would attack him, which is very interesting because it's planting that little bit of doubt in his and our minds about where exactly this is all going. Don would then say that he'll take care of things with Hangman and make things right, but more of that later on. As mentioned on Dark Elevation, Matt Menard and Cool Hand Hinge would take the Acclaimed out on the town with Chris Jericho's money. They took him to a hockey game, they went out to eat, they went to a fair. They would then bring up the question of whether or not the Acclaimed would join the JAS, and Anthony Bowens would say that he would let them know next week on Dynamite. I don't think they're going to join them, even though they are like the perfect sort of sports entertainers, but it's very fun to think about the type of matches that they will eventually have against each other. Back to the ring, and this time it's Dalton Castle and the boys teaming up against the Blackpool Combat Club, and unfortunately for Dalton Castle and the boys, BCC would go right after them during the entrance, just really beat the hell out of all three of them. None of them ever really had a chance. This was over well before it started, because as soon as that bell rang, Claudia would hit the straightjacket powerbomb to get the win. We then go backstage where this time Alex Marvez is standing with Hangman Adam Page, and Hangman talks about the Bucks injuries and that he 100% feels like it was the BCC that did this. Then in walks Don Callis and does exactly what he said he was going to do and apologizes to Hangman. As soon as he extends his hand, the BCC attack him, really just beat the hell out of him. And even as Don Callis was trying to do the same thing to Mox, trying to extend his hand, he would get attacked as well. Could it still be Don Callis that is sort of pulling the strings here? Maybe he took a shot to make it believable. He bled, which is something that Mox does like. We'll have to just wait and see where this story goes. After that, it's Kenny Omega defending his IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship against Jeff Cobb. And before the match even started, Tony told Kenny about what happened to Don and Hangman, and that it normally would be bad timing for literally anybody else. But what Don has told Kenny to do the past couple of weeks was focus on his matches, and maybe that's something that's getting him through all this. Maybe this is all a test for Kenny. With all that said, though, can we talk about them playing his New Japan theme song and his entrance video as well. I was not expecting that at all, but makes a lot of sense considering the title that he's currently defending. This match was also much different than his match last week against Vikingo, but still quite good, playing into the power dynamic of Cobb, really beating down in and out of the ring by going after Kenny's ribs. Kenny would try to fire back with some snapdragons, but Cobb was right back on him and almost takes Kenny's head off, with one hell of a clothesline. This match was a lot of fun, and I could be here all day talking about all the other great spots from both of these men. You owe it to yourself to check this match out. But with that said, it is Kenny showing a strength of his own and retaining his title by hitting the one-winged angel on Jeff Cobb. And after this match, BCC once again making their presence known, which would then cause Bryan Danielson to come out. And it looked like he was about to make the save, but as soon as Kenny turned his back, Bryan would hit him with that psycho knee. We finally get an answer to where Danielson's alliance lies, and that only means a lot of good things for the future of this feud. After a video package hyping up FTR's match with the Guns, we would see them backstage and they would bring up how quick they got their success in comparison to FTR, how they used to respect them, but now they hate them. And they even use FTR's catchphrase against them by saying top guys out will actually be what happens. I cannot wait for this match because I fully expect for FTR to get those titles back and to stay with AEW. Up next is Orange Cassidy defending his international championship against The Butcher. And I will say this before we get into this match. The Butcher now has officially the best mustache I've ever seen. Very Dr. Robotnik-like and then some. I wish I could grow one that was that good. Before this match though, the blade would go right after Orange Cassidy, causing a whole hell of a lot of damage, but gets thrown out because of it. Butcher would then throw him in and out of the ring throughout this match, even threw Orange Cassidy into the barricade. The blade would even try to get involved a second time behind the ref's back, and though a lot of damage was done, as I said, the resiliency of Orange Cassidy knows no bounds, along with a little help from his best friends coming to his aid. It's Orange Cassidy hitting the beach break to retain. We then go backstage again, where this time it's Jade who's standing with Leila, Gray, Smart Mark Sterling, and someone else, I guess, from Smart Mark's legal team. I didn't quite get the name there. But Jade looking absolutely like a badass with what she's wearing. I mean, look at this picture. She looks so freaking cool. Anyways, he also mentioned that there's going to be another match for Taya this Friday on Rampage, which is so great to hear. So happy to see that she's had a match on Rampage each and every single week after she came into AEW. Makes her feel just that much more important. But they will deliver an official court order if she decides to use Jade's finisher once again. I cannot see what happens with that. After the Juice promo backstage, hyping up with his match with Action Andretti on Rampage, it's Willow Nightengale facing former friend and current outcast in Ruby Soho. Early on, Ruby trying to play the mind games here and dodging her, while Willow looked very apprehensive at first to even wrestle her. But that would slowly change throughout this match as she would really beat Ruby down at one point. Unfortunately, though, Willow would get suckered in by Ruby, appealing to her emotions. And that was what Ruby and the rest of the Outcasts would take advantage of after that. Really, the huge numbers game advantage. Willow would do the best she could to fight them all off. Even kicked out of 2 no futures from Ruby. But it would indeed be Ruby who would get the win, with putting her feet on the second rope and some added leverage and some added support there from, I believe it was Toni Storm there. After the match, they would continue to go after her, but finally we would get help from Riho and Sky Blue. And even though those two were really no match for the three of them, it was Jamie Hayter, the AEW Women's World Champion, who was truly the one who was going to make the save here. Maybe next time we can have a match like this. Perhaps the outcasted opponent can come out with some backup maybe, so we don't have to continue to do this. Outcasts have a match with some random person, and then 2 other people come out for the save. After that great promo from Hobbs running down all of his recent accomplishments, it's main event time. It's Adam Cole, baby, making his return to the ring, his first match since Forbidden Door last year against Daniel Garcia. First off, I absolutely love this new look from Adam Cole. His jacket looks so awesome, and what else was awesome was this match, as anybody would be shocked by saying that. The back and forth was great, along with Adam really playing up his injuries, all the stuff that was going with his head and neck, taking a few pile drivers and a few other moves that would come into play throughout this match. I also love Daniel Garcia mocking Shawn Michaels, who's an idol of Adam Cole, and as soon as he goes for the super kick, it's Adam Cole who ends up hitting it. Adam Cole would then go on to fight through some more pain, some more damage that he took there to his head and neck, and he does indeed get the win by lowering the boom on Daniel Garcia. After the match, though, Britt comes out for a hug, while apparently Chris Jericho also comes down to the aid of Daniel Garcia and sort of takes him away from Adam Cole while also kind of looking over his shoulder at him. I'm not sure if that's going to be the feud, but it's starting to feel like maybe, just maybe, this is going to be a whole thing that's going to get Daniel Garcia to finally break away from the JAS, and I cannot wait. And that was AEW Dynamite. What do you guys think about it? Please let me know down in the comment section below. Matches of the night for me, certainly that IWGP United States Championship match and that main event was a ton of fun as well. And with that being said, if you did enjoy today's review, please go right below this video, click that like button, the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell. Guys, don't always let you see past, present, and future reviews that I do, but also helps others to find my channel. So thank you guys once again for checking out this review, and thank you guys for being all elites.